Well, the hits just keep coming to Tesla, at least for this week. Overnight, a fire broke out at the company's Fremont, California facility. The company says the blaze was sparked by one of the cardboard recycling machines, and while it did not affect auto production, it's the second fire reported at the facility this week. As you keep one eye on the one-week picture where Tesla's falling, also this week, according to internal memos, the electric vehicle maker plans to cut its workforce by 9%, and that will cause significant downsizing of its solar installation business, formerly Solar City. So all that drama swirling around Tesla coincides with CEO Elon Musk revealing that Tesla has filed a lawsuit against a former company technician, Martin Tripp, for spying and hacking and then disclosing confidential information and trade secrets. There was a heated email exchange, Musk calling Tripp a horrible human being. And now Elon Musk has flat out labeled Martin Tripp a saboteur. By publicly slamming Tripp and quickly filing suit, has Elon Musk fixed or shut down the issue? How much damage has been done? I want to bring in Joe Loomis, chairman and CTO of CyberSponse, which helps companies root out and boot corporate spies, along with longtime Tesla investor, bull and owner Ross Gerber of Gerber Kawasaki. Ross, when it rains, it pours. How's Tesla handling the downpour of issues right now? The stock is falling 7% on the week.
Well, I think that Tesla is in a massive challenge against, not only, the media and all the different reports coming out, but the short sellers that are just fighting for their lives right now as they have $12 billion short. They're down $1 billion just in the last couple of weeks. And, they'll do anything at this point. I mean, it's almost like the show Billions.
Well, yeah, Elon is this cult of personality, but he came out and fingered this guy and very publicly said, well, it didn't help. The guy's out there running around giving a lot of interviews elsewhere saying that he's a whistleblower, actually. So that's his side of all of this. But, Ross, if he had dealt with this behind the scenes versus so publicly, do you think the stock would have reacted as poorly as it has?
No, I think it did because of this. Elon's done a horrible job managing the media. The real story is really that production has ramped up and the car is actually phenomenal. I have one. I've used it every day. And if these claims were true that this guy's making, we would have seen fires in the Model 3. There's over 20,000 on the road minimum, and we haven't had one issue with any of them. So I think that it's if these claims were accurate, we would see something, and we don't. And I drive with my kids every day. So, I think this is just the last desperate hope of the short sellers.
Yeah. The fire earlier
Change
was
the
the
story,
Model S. Okay, but I need to be very clear about this, and maybe you can keep the fire on and squeeze me back or get back on camera, because I did some number searching. There are 152,000 car fires per year in America, not involving Tesla. So Tesla has one or two, and it's obviously a very sexy story, but let's keep perspective here. Joe, let's broaden the discussion here to everybody watching. A lot of people work, a lot of people run companies, they're in the C-suite at companies who watch Fox Business. Are they vulnerable to this kind of sabotage, employee sabotage? Forget cyber. People within, the scariest thing you never want to hear is the danger is coming from within. We've just realized that.
Insider threat is the number one, I think, corporate concern for every board member and executive. It's kind of the Edward Snowden of commercial now, right? We've got people that want to be cowboys, and they'll claim this idea that, oh, I'm a whistleblower, so I'm protected. But I find it really, really interesting that whistleblowing is not really a way to protect yourself. If there was really truly an issue here, I think the government and the corporate world would see different. But I think has discredited himself. I think that you've got a corporate issue of espionage. You've got insider threat. This is a very big issue for cybersecurity because, there's three T's that we always talk about when we talk to companies. It's trust, there's training, and there's technology. You have to have some level of trust to your employees. You can't just, spy on them. You can't monitor everything they're constantly doing. So you have to maintain a good culture. You've got to train them on how to be smart about, not letting someone give them a USB stick and not knowing what's on it. And then you got to use technology. There is technology out there that can stop someone from downloading a bunch of data. I mean, I've been working with a company called Bay Dynamics. They're really, really good guys. I have no affiliation to them at all. But these guys, they saw this problem that corporate executives have to stop insider threat.
Well, again, Ross, when you look at Tesla itself, when I was walking in 2012 along that floor in Fremont, that is state of the art, and it is all proprietary for Tesla. Their robotics, everything that they've done, they've got to protect that. There are rivals. There are short sellers. 33% of the float is shorted over at Tesla. I think when I was there, it was more like 48%. And then there are the disgruntled workers. Tesla's got to make sure when they've got that giga plant in Nevada, which is going to be top of the line with a lot of secrets, to make sure it's secure, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're disrupting one of the oldest industries in America, oil and automobiles that have made billions and billions and billions over 100 years. The last thing they need is Tesla. If you're a gas station owner, Tesla's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. So there's so many forces here against Tesla for really legitimate reasons. Their financial well-being is really being attacked. So, Tesla has to work very, very hard to protect their proprietary information. Yeah. And I'm sure they have very tight security as it is, but it's never tight enough. Never tight enough.
Joe, last word, the number one thing company owners need to do to protect their secrets.
Technology and training and trust, the 3 T's, right? I think I stand behind what Elon's done in regards to setting his foot in the ground, a stake in the ground in regards to filing a litigation and kind of making a statement that, like, hey, investors, I'm here to protect our IP. They're not just investing in car manufacturing. They're actually a technology company. They need to protect how they manufacture, what they manufacture. That's just as important, especially with rivals that are coming up now today, with all these other competitive, electric car manufacturers that are trying to break into this disruptive space.
Wonderful to have you guys. I'm telling you, this is so important. Even if you don't own Tesla stock or a Tesla, this is important. By the way, the stock up 25% still for quarter to date. So still looking pretty healthy here. Guys, good to see you. Joe,
thanks
Ross.
so much, Liz.
Anytime. OPEC. We've got to get to that. Speaking of